Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Now it's a turn. Now the speech goes to Wang Cong, Abed
Sir,
Muhammad Reda. Okay.
okay, sir, can I share my screen because I do some modifications?
Modifications. Okay, no problem. I'll conduct it. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay.
Do you see my screen?
Yes.
So, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited to be here to talk about a topic that near and dear to my heart as someone who has been in this field for many years. I have seen firsthand the incredible impact that it can have on individuals, organizations, and even entire societies. I believe that this is an incredible, important conversation to have, and I'm looking forward to sharing my insights and perspective with all of you. So, without further, let's get started. So trade has been a fundamental part of human society for thousands of years, allowing individuals, community, and nations exchange goods and services with one another. However, the nature of trade has constantly evolved over time with technological advancements playing a significant role in shaping its dynamics. So one such aspect of trade that has been influenced by technological differences is the exchange of goods based on their level of technological sophistication. With the rise of globalization and the increasing integration of national economies, trade based on the dynamic technological differences has become an important feeder of international commerce. Also, this type of trade involves the exchange of goods and services that are differentiated based on their level of technological advancement, with nations specializing in the production and export of goods that are technologically advanced and importing goods that are less sophisticated. In this way, trade based on the dynamic technological differences has the potential to boost economic growth, enhance competitiveness, and foster innovation. So firstly, technological gap model was developed by Michael Vivian Posner in 1961. Posner maintained that technological change is a continuous process according to him, even if the countries have similar factor proportion and tests. Yet continuous process of innovation can give rise to trade. Also, according to this model, as firm develops a new product, its first test is in the home market. After it is proved to be successful in the home market, the efforts are made to introduce it in foreign markets. The new product confer a temporary monopoly position, open the producing firm or exporting country in the world trade. This monopoly position is often protected by the patent and copyright. The exporting countries enjoy competitive advantage over the rest of the world until the foreigner producer imitate the new variants of product or learn new process of production. Secondly, product cycle model. The product life cycle is the progress of a product throughout five distinct stages: development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. The concept was developed by German economist Theodor Levitt, who published his product life cycle model in the Harvard Business Review in 1965. We still use this model today. So this model basically product life cycle is the time from the product concept to its eventual withdrawal from the market. The product life cycle is used for decision making and strategy development throughout each stage. Marketers use product life cycle to customize messaging for each stage using market research to guide their efforts. Managers use the product lifecycle to make strategic decisions about pricing, expansion into new markets, packaging design, and more. To conclude, trend based on dynamic technological differences is a crucial aspect of the global economy, allowing nations to specialize in the product and the exchange of technologically advanced goods and services. As technology continue to evolve, policymakers must adapt to new innovation and opportunities to promote sustainable economic growth and competitiveness. By embracing trade based on dynamic technological differences, nations can leverage technology to create a more prosperous and interconnected world. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. 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 Good. Is there anybody who want to deliver your presentation? Is there anybody? Hi, Naze, are you there?
Yes, Aushi, can I present next week?
Next week, this week. I think this is the assignment of last week, right?
I have bad network.
No, but no, I think your network is quite great. I think I can hear you clearly. No returnees. Okay, the next one. Who will be the next one? Hi, Billy. Are you there? Danny.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, it's your turn now.
Hi. I haven't done my presentation yet, unfortunately, teacher. I haven't done yet. I'm sorry, teacher. I haven't done my presentation yet.
Baya.
I'm sorry, me too. Just me and 4 billion. We was in Shenzhen's CSA students event. It's because of that we cannot finish.
Because of what?
Me and 4 we was in Shenzhen scholarships event in Shenzhen. Lila should know about it. It talks about.
I think that is not the reason for assignment. Okay.
Yeah. I can present it in the end of class.
Yes, teacher. Can you give us some time? Yeah.
Okay. Now, last time we discussed in our previous class we discussed the external economies, and actually the external economies and economy scale are the basic knowledge of the principle of the economics. Okay, it belongs to the microeconomics terminology. Okay, and here we should address what the economies of scale is. Okay. Now this hypothesis about the economy of scale, it occurred in an essay on trade and transformation and transformation in 1961. Originated by the S.B. Linda. Okay. We can see that what is the preference similarity or overlapping demands hypothesis. Okay. A nation should export those manufactured products for which a large domestic market exists and import those products that appeal to its low and high income minorities. Here, that is the preference similarity. Okay, the hypothesis. Okay, export the manufactured products for which a large domestic market exists and import those products that appeal to its low and high income minorities.
我想吃，他给我被睡了，就收收了，爸爸。
好的。Okay, now this comes to the conclusion. Trade in manufacturers is likely to be largest among countries with.
吃掉呀，爸爸，吃掉。
上课好不好？Sorry.
It's okay, teacher.
Sorry, my little daughter is in the kindergarten. You know, they are dismissed very early at 3:30. You know that, so I have to take her home. A little noise in our class. Okay, sorry for that.
It's okay, teacher. It's okay.
Okay. Conclusion: the trade in manufacturers is likely to be largest among countries with similar tastes and income levels. Okay, we can see that. Okay, we can see the concrete case in the contemporary global economy. Okay. The imperfect competition and international trade. Actually, in our daily life, the imperfect competition is a very common market structure. What are the relations between the imperfect competition and international trade? Okay, that is a trade based on product differentiation. Okay, that is premise is the product differentiation. The measuring intra-industry trade. Intra-industry is a very important terminology in the modern theory, contemporary theory of the international trade. Okay, the formal model of the intra-industry trade. Actually, it is invented by the very a very famous American academics, Downing. Okay. Another version of the model. This is what we are going to learn. These are the items we are going to learn in this small small chapter in this subheadline. Okay. Now, the first question is trade based on product differentiation. That is the differentiated products. Why? Just because they are intra-industry trade. Take advantage of scale in production to keep unit cost low and benefit consumers with more choices. Okay. That is the intra-industry trade. The main aim and results are lowering the cost of the production. Okay. The intra-industry trade, that means that is the homogeneous products. That is the just because of the existence of the homogeneous products, there comes the inter-industry trade. Okay. We make a comparison with the taste preferences, interesting considerations. Okay, comparing with the HO theory, that is the more a classical international trade model, international trade theory. The different one, that is the basis for trade. Okay, the HO theory predict that trade based on comparative advantage is likely to be larger when the differences affecting endowments among nations greater. Okay, here the trade is based on the comparative advantage. Okay, that is when the difference affecting endowments, such as the natural resources, okay, endowment, and the labor resources, and technological innovation and things like that. Okay, intra-industry trade is likely to be larger. Intra-industry trade is likely to be larger among industrial economies of similar size and factor proportions. Okay, intra-industry trade. Okay, intra-industry trade is likely to be larger among industrial economies. Okay, intra-industry likely to be larger among industrial economies of similar size and factor proportions. That is the now here we can see that is in this intra-industry trade takes place mostly among the industrial economies. Okay, the similar size and factor proportions. Okay, the second difference, that is the gains from trade. Okay, the HO theory predicts that inter-industry trade will lower the return of the nation's scarce factor. The inter-industry trade will lower the return of the nation's scarce factor. Okay, just because the HO model is based on the endowments of a nation. Okay, within the intra-industry trade, based on the economic scale, it is possible for all factors to gain different attitude of interest groups. Okay, that is the intra-industry trade. Okay, the intra-industry trade is related to the sharp increase in international trading parts or components of a product. Okay, that is the intra-industry trade. That's why, in the last round of the globalization, the multinational enterprises, they often deployed their resources here and there in the world, which have the competitive edge. Okay, and they built the parts and components here and there in the world with the comparative advantage. It is one of the most important approach to lower their production cost. Okay, that means intra-industry trade often happens in the inside of the multinational corporations, especially for those who are in the line of manufacture. Okay, it utilizes each nation's comparative advantage to minimize total cost. Okay, now I give you an example, such as the Airbus production. Okay, President Macron, French President Macron, now is now paying his visit to China. You know that, and he agreed to build the second assembly line in Tianjin. You know that. That means actually that is I think that is a strategy or a strategy for the Airbus company to minimize their total cost of assembling. Okay, of assembling the Airbus flight. Okay, the intra-industry trade model is an extension of the basis HO model to modern production conditions. Okay, modern production conditions. Okay. Okay. About the relative commodity prices, with differentiated products produced and economy scale, free trade relative commodity prices may no longer accurately predict the path of trade. Okay. With differentiated products produced and the economy scale. Okay. Okay. Now we should know that just because of the economy scale, the enterprises, many of the enterprises, they are engaged in different lines of production and they provide consumers the differentiated products. Okay. Without the differentiated products, we could not imagine our our daily life is. Okay. Produced and free trade relative commodity prices may no longer accurately predict the path of trade. Okay. Large country and small country. Okay. Now we go to the final conclusion, conclusion. Okay, we can see what we can get. The comparative advantage determines the pattern of inter-industry trade. Well, economy scale in differentiated products give rise to intra-industry trade. Okay, the comparative, okay, of the advantage, comparative advantage determines the pattern of the inter-industry trade. Okay. Well, economy scale in differentiated products give rise to intra-industry trade. Okay, sorry, a little bit. Wait me for a little, for 1 minute. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Let's come back. Okay. Here, I think the following conclusions you should bear in mind. Okay, the comparative advantage determines the pattern of inter-industry trade. Okay, well, economy scale in differentiated products. Okay, gave rise to intra-industry trade. Okay. A great deal of intra-industry trade is in fact consistent with trade based on differences in factor endowments and the comparative cost. Okay, that is the intra-industry trade. Okay, inter-industry trade reflects natural comparative advantage, while inter-industry trade reflects acquired. The intra-industry trade reflects acquired comparative advantage. Okay, how to marry the intra-industry trade? Okay, this is the quantitative study. Okay, that is the intra-industry index. Okay, that is the X represents the value of exports of a particular industry or commodity group. Okay, M, the value of the imports of a particular industry or commodity group. Okay, that is T, means the trade in the intra-industry, the trade index equals to 1 minus the absolute value of the difference between export and import, and the numerator, the denominator is the export, the total trade value. Okay. Well, when t equals 0, when there is no industry trade. Okay, well, T is okay. Well, T equals 1 when the exports and exports of a good are equal. Okay, intra-industry trade is maximum. Okay, that is the intra-industry index. Okay. 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 The formal model of intra-industry trade. With intra-industry trade, we can see intra-differentiated products. There are two conditions, preconditions for the occurrence, for the happening of the intra-industry trade. That is the differentiated products and economy of scale. Okay. Also, these two poles are the main elements of the market organization. Okay, that is the market organization that caused the monopolistic competition. Okay, that's the model, production and pricing, and the monopolistic competition. Okay, here this what is the monopolistic competition? Actually, this is the knowledge points of the microeconomics. Okay, here we review this definition. Okay, a firm of market organization where there are many firms selling a differentiated product and entry into or exit from an industry is easy. Okay. First, we should make it clear, monopolist competition is a form of the market organization. Okay. And the second condition is that many firms are engaged in this market. They are selling a differentiated product. The differentiated product, not the homogeneous products. Okay. And the third condition is that entry or exit without barriers. Without barriers. That means the factors mobilization is smooth. Okay. Now we can see that is production and pricing and monopolistic competition. Okay. Here we should take the two curves into the we can see there is a MR, okay, and the D, demand curve. Okay, this is the marginal revenue and the marginal cost and the average cost. Okay, we can see that. Okay. And the monopolistic position competition, we can see that they provide the differentiated products. Okay. How? Okay. AC, we can see that AC, the downward sloping because of the economies of scale. Okay. Okay. We can see the economies of scale. The firm reaches the best level of output where MR equals MC. That is the intersection. The intersection. Okay, the intersection between the marginal cost and the marginal revenue. Okay, the marginal revenue. Okay, when the firm breaks even at point A, why? just because of their average cost is much higher than the price and then the marginal cost. Okay, marginal cost. Okay, here we can get to the come to the conclusion that is what relationship between the two patterns of trade is. Okay. The first conclusion, one products are homogeneous. We have only inter-industry trade. Okay, just because the inter-industry trade was based on what? The inter-industry reflects the natural comparative advantage. Okay. Okay. When products are differentiated, we have both inter and intra-industry trade. Okay. We have both inter and intra-industry trade. The more similar nations are in factors, endowments, and technology, the smaller is the importance of relative to intra-industry trade. Okay, we can see that the more similar nations are in factors, endowments, okay, and technology, the smaller is the importance of interrelative to inter-industry trade. Oh, we can see this graph. Okay, another version of the model. Okay, we can see that this is the positive relationship between N and AC for a given level of industry output. For the given, okay, N this is N, the number of firms. Okay, N stands for the horizontal axis. We can see represent the stands for the number of firms, and for the vertical axis, we can see the price and the average cost. Okay, the P equals to AC and equals to MC. Okay, that means that means the business, the enterprise can maximize their revenue, their total revenue. Okay, total revenue. Okay, we can see that is the AC. We can find AC, okay, and N given level industry relationship. Okay. After trade, economies of scale. Okay, here that is the negative relationship between N and P because of the competition. Okay, that is lower the price, E dot. That is E dot. We can see that is the for the point E, it is the long run equilibrium point where each firms breaks even in autarky. Okay. For the E dot, that is after trade. This can realize that economy scale lower the cost. That is the negative relationship between N and P because of the competition. Okay. there's new long-run equilibrium point within international trade. Okay, that means makes the equilibrium price from E to the E dot. 好的。Sorry again. Okay. So there's a new. We can see that if through the international trade, no matter the intertrade or intratrade, okay, for those enterprises who can realize the economy scale, they can benefit from the international from the trade. Okay. Okay. Because of the okay. That means through the international trade, the realization of the I think that is the as for the majorities, I think, for most of the people in the country, they can enjoy the welfare taken by the international trade. Okay, international trade. Okay. Okay, the trade based on dynamic technological differences. And that is the extension of the HO model. Okay. Also, it is the assignment I gave you the week before the last. Okay. Now, the first is the technological gap model. The second one is product cycle model and illustration. Okay. Okay. The technological gap model invented by the put forward by the by Posner in 1961. The main points of the theory is that a great deal of the trade among industrialized countries is based on the introduction of the new products and new production processes. Okay. This gave the innovating firm nation a temporary monopoly in the world market that is often based on patents and copyrights, which are granted to stimulate the flow of inventions. And we can see that, especially in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, we can see that from the we can see that during the pandemic of COVID-19. Okay. The shortcomings. What are the short points of the theory? Okay, the weakness of the theory. No explanation of the size and the reason of the gaps. Okay, and how they eliminated over time. Under this theory, we can see that if these new products are preserved through the patents and copyrights, okay, and there is no. And I take the pharmaceutical industry as an example. Now, India pharmaceutical industry will not exist, and Postner's opinion. Okay. Okay. Now, for this theory emphasizes the time lag in the imitation process. Okay. Now, we know put forward the product cycle mode or model in 1996, okay, in 1960s, okay. When a new product is produced, when a new product is introduced, it usually requires highly skilled labor to produce, okay. When a new product is introduced, it usually requires highly skilled labor to produce. Okay. As the product matures and acquires mass acceptance, it becomes standardized and can then be produced by mass production techniques and less skilled labor. Okay. This is the main points of the theory. Okay. Comparative advantage in the product shifts from the advanced nation that originally produced it to less advanced nations. Okay. Comparative advantage in the product shifts from the advanced nation that originally introduced to less advanced nations. Okay. Where labor is relatively cheaper. Okay. This may be accompanied by the FDI, foreign direct investment, from the innovation nation to nations with cheaper labor. Okay, this is the product life cycle. Okay. Okay, we can. There are so many examples. There are so many examples illustrating illustrating the product life cycle model. Okay. Initially, when a product is initially invented, okay, means high cost, monopoly position. With the time going on, okay, the manufacturers, they need more consumers. That means should be accepted by the mass. Okay, so it becomes standardized production. Okay, standardized. Okay, with the time going on, the comparative advantage in terms of the technology will diminish. Okay, so the production will shift from the from the from the initial manufacturer to the other manufacturers in the same line, where the labor cost is relatively lower. Okay, lower. So this product life model can explain the globalization in 1980s and 1990s. Okay. It is also in the last round, we call it the last round of globalization. Just in the last round of globalization, the countries like China, some countries of the Southeast Asia, okay, and Korea and Singapore, okay, they become the newly emerged the frontier nations, okay, just because of the cheaper labor cost, okay. So, and also Indonesia, Malaysia, okay. That is the we call the all this industry, most of the all of the industry are belonging to the labor intensified industry, okay, or the capital intensified industry. What are the conclusion of the for the product life cycle model? They emphasize standardization process. Okay, standardization. Standardization implicates economy of scale, okay, lower cost and higher productivity. Okay. The most highly industrialized economies are expected to export non-standardized products, embodying new and more advanced technologies, and import products embodying old or less advanced technologies. Okay. The most highly industrialized economies are expected to export non-standardized products, embodying new and more advanced technologies, and import products embodying old and less advanced technologies. Okay, we can use this item to explain the trade between the developing nations and the developing nations. Okay, for example, the developed nations import the raw materials and the initial manufacturing industrial products from the developing nations, okay, such as from Africa, from Latin America, from China, okay, and also why the industrial economies prefer to export non-standardized products, just because these kind of products are technology intensified. Okay, it is very difficult for the developing nations to imitate. Imitate. Okay, it explains dynamic comparative advantage for new products and a new production process. Okay. Illustration of the product life cycle. We can see that some of you have already stage 1, stage 2, that product growth phase, okay, new product phase, product maturity phase, product decline phase. Okay. Well, in the in product growth phase, there is the export-oriented strategy adopted by the multinationals, by the cross-border companies. Okay, then in the product maturity phase, there are the very severe competition in the streamline of the industry. Okay, with the time going on, okay, there's steps to the product decline phase. There's a price competition. We can use this theory to analyze the manufacturing industry domestically and overseas. Okay, the cost of transportation, environmental standards, and international trade. Just from superficially, we can see that the cost of transportation we translated this part into current understanding, contemporary understanding. That is the logistics of a country. Okay, and the second one is environmental standard. Okay, what are the influences? What are the environmental standards influencing the international trade? Okay. Okay. What are the transportation costs? Includes all the costs of transferring goods from one location to another. It is very easier for us to understand that. Freight charges, cost of loading and unloading, warehousing costs, insurance, premiums, interest charges where goods are in transit. Okay. Here, if you are interested in the the transportation costs in international trade, you can make analysis from the following perspectives. That is freight charges, cost of loading, warehouse insurance, interest charges. Actually, they are totally can be they are they totally can be they can totally be classified into the sphere of the logistics. Okay. Okay. That is non-traded goods and services. Transport exceeds price differences across nations. We can see the illustration. Imports, partial equilibriumness of transportation costs. Okay. Okay. Equilibrium points for both countries in autarky. Okay. Nation one, that is the E point. This is the demand. Nation two, that is the E point, imports and exports. Okay. The absence of transportation costs. Okay. Transportation costs and the location of industry. Resource-oriented industries. Okay, tend to locate near the source of raw materials by the industry, involving substantial weight losses in processing. Okay. The market-oriented industries. Okay. Locate near the markets for the products of the industry, involving substantial weight gains in processing. Food-to-loose industries tend to have high value to weight ratios and to be highly mobile and footloose, involving neither substantial weight gains nor losses in processing. Okay. Here we come the environmental standards. Okay. I think it is full of meaning. It is full of meaning, especially nowadays. Okay. Now, the global now the climate change is becoming a global issue. A global issue. Okay, it is becoming a global. It is becoming a global issue. Okay, become a global issue. Okay, environment standards is in the well, on the one hand, is becoming a criteria of the international trade, which should be observed by the member countries, by the member states, I think, especially for those countries who have already participated in some kind of regional economic organizations or other international organizations, I think. On the other hand, it becomes a new type of the trade barriers to forbidden that takes the damage to the international trade. Okay, environmental pollution is not fully reflected as social environment costs in production. A nation with lower environmental standards can use the environment as a resource to manufacture production in attracting polluting firms and achieving a comparative advantage, including goods and services. Okay, how to deal with the contradiction between environment and development? Okay, how to deal with the contradiction between environment and development? Okay, this is the assignment for our next class. Okay, for our next class.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Hello, Naze, it's your turn to give us a speech. Okay, Naze, are you there?
Mine is ready too.
Naze, where are you?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, it's your turn now.
Present?
Yes.
Okay. Let me. How to share my screen? Oh,
You can share your screen.
okay. Can you? Did you see Laush? Can you see my presentation?
Yes,
Laush?
I can see that a little bit. Can you make
Okay.
it larger?
No, I have my phone. Can you? Can
Yeah,
you put it
I can
on
share
my-
your PPT without.
Okay. Thank you.
Send it to me. Okay, I've already have it. Okay, a little bit. That okay?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay, first presentation, first slide.
Yes, this is the first slide.
The technological gap model was developed by Posner in 1961. Posner maintains that technological change is a continuous process. According to him, even if countries have similar factor, proponents, and the tastes, the continuous process of invitation and the innovation can give rise to trade. And next slide. Assumptions. The main assumption in Posner's theory follow us. First, There are two countries, A and B. The factor endowments are similar in two countries. Both the countries have similar demand conditions. The factor price rations in the two countries are similar before trade. There are different techniques in two countries. Next slide. According to Posner, if the two countries are otherwise identical, whenever trade between them will be generated by technological innovations, will depend on net effect on of the demand and the imitations lags. If the demand lag is longer than the imitation lag, the procedures in the limitation countries would adopt the new technologies before the consumer in their home market has started demanding the new goods. In this case, technological innovations would not be generated trade. Next slide, I'll show you this picture with a graph. Yes, this graph. The trade theory given by Posner can be explained through this figure. Time is measured along the horizontal scale and the trade balance of countries A. The innovating country is measured along the vertical scale. Up to 10, no trade takes place between two countries. At this point, the innovating country A introduces the new product. As the consumer in imitating country B become aware of the products, they start consuming it country A, therefore starts exporting it. Next slide. The product cycle model was originally developed by Raymond Vernon, and here is it has been supported by Lewis, Wells, and Hurlbauer. This model explains that a product is initially produced and exported by the innovating country, but finally it ends up importing country of the same product or same different variety of the product Next, and here in this. The product cycle, we have assumptions. According to Vernon's product cycle model is based upon assumptions given below. First, the procedures in capital-rich countries initially introduce new products. The innovating firm has some real or imagined monopolistic advantages. The need and opportunities of the domestic market stimulate the innovation of a new product. Innovating firms have little information about the conditions existing in foreign markets. 5. The home environment in the advanced countries, which initially make innovations in different from that in the other advanced countries. There are many triggering events like the appearance of rival procedures that leads to turning out the product for export. Next slide. And according to Vernon's product cycle model is an extension of the technological gap model. The whole structure of this model is based up the experience of United States. Several products are innovated by that capital abundant country on account of its advantages of skilled manpower. High per capita income and the large home market, the comparative advantages is lost by country as the new product are developed firstly by the other advanced country and later by less developed countries when the product gets standardized. And the last one about this model, however, has been criticized on account of its faulty assumptions. Firstly, it's wrong to suppose that the innovating firm has no knowledge about the condition existing in other countries. Secondly, there is not any significant difference in the home environment in the innovating country and that in the other advanced countries because all of them are occupied with the infrastructure to innovate the new products. Thirdly, it's not essential that innovations are initially made by the capital-rich countries. That's all, Moshe.
Oh. Whatever. Okay. I think next time you shall. I think you should pay more attention to the assignment. Okay. You not just the copy the text from the other academic resources. Okay. Okay. The next one.
Can I present?
Yes.
Sure.
Where is your PPT?
Can you see?
Yes, I can see that. Fire.
It's technological gap theory 2. The technology gap, it's suggest economy's developments. It's closely it's talk about technologies level of countries. It's this theory talks about developing countries have a technology gap. They lack necessary technology insurance and productivity create more higher economic level. This technology gap can be addressed through various means: is direct investment, technology transfer, innovations, new theories, creating new products. And countries can help bridge the technology gap by investing the transferring the technologies by another countries. Basically, it's the countries of third worlds. In this graph, you can see. I'm sorry, I found some information in Russian language. This means exports, imports, import-export. We can see the export being high in other countries, and imported balanced. However, technology transfers may not always work as smoothly as expected, because the countries who take the other technologies, other countries, new products, the workers in another countries cannot work with that because they don't know how to do this, what should they do, and they didn't study as part of economy. And according to this theory, it's it's wrong. Oral technology gap theory highlights importance and investing in technology and promoting the innovations. It's close the gap between development and developing countries and promote global economic growth. So.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
How to stop?
May I present, Laushi?
Julian, are you there?
Yes,
May
teacher.
I present?
Yes, I'm here, but someone's gonna present Li Shuai, I think.
Li Shuai, where are you, Li Shuai?
I am here, Laushi.
Okay, share your screen with us, okay?
Can you see my PPT, Laushi?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Li Shuai. I am going to present the theme trade based on dynamic technological differences. So, what is a trade based on dynamical technology differences? Apart from differences in relative availability of labor, capital, and natural resources, stressed by Heckscher-Ohlin theory and the existence of economies of the scale and product differentiation, dynamic changes in technology among nations can be a separate determinant of international trade. These are examined by the technological gap and product cycle models. Science time is involved in a fundamental way in both of these models. They can be regarded as a dynamic extension of static HO model. So, a technological gap model is sketched by Posner in 1961. A great deal of the trade among industrialized countries is based on the introduction of new product and new production processes. This gives the innovating firm and nations a temporary monopoly in the world market. Such a temporary monopoly is often based on patents and copyrights, which are granted to stimulate the flow of inventions. As the most technologically advanced nation, the United States exports a large number of new high-technology products. However, as foreign producers acquire the new technology, they eventually are able to conquer markets abroad and even the US market for the product because of their lower labor costs. In the meaning of US producers may have introduced still new products and production processes and may be able to export these products based on the new technological gap established. A shortcoming of this model, however, is that it doesn't explain the size of technological gaps and doesn't explore the reason that technological gaps arise or exactly how they are eliminated over time. A generalization and extension of the technological gap model is the product cycle model, which fully developed by Vennela 5 years after technological gap model in 1966. According to this model, when new product is introduced, it usually requires highly skilled labor to produce. As the product matures and acquires mass acceptance, it becomes standardized. It can then be produced by mass production techniques and less skilled labor. Therefore, comparative advantage in the product shifts from the advanced nation that originally introduced it to less advanced nations, where labor is relatively cheaper. This may be accompanied by foreign direct investment from the innovating nation to nations with cheaper labor. A classic example of the product cycle model is provided by experience of US and Japanese radio manufacturing since Second World War. Immediately after the war, US firms dominated in the international market for radios based on vacuum tubes developed in the United States. However, within a few years, Japan was able to capture a large share of this market by copying US technology and utilizing cheap labor. The United States recaptured technological leadership with the development of transistors, but once again, in a few short years, Japan imitated the technology and was able to undersell the United States. In the figure 1, we can clearly see an illustration of product cycle model. There are 5 stages. In stage 1, it's called new product phase. The product is produced and consumed only in the innovating country. Stage 2 is called product growth phase. Production is perfected in the innovating country and increased rapidly to accommodate rising demand at home and abroad. At this stage, there is not yet any foreign production of product, so that the innovating country has a monopoly in both home and export markets. In stage 3 is also called product maturity phase. The product becomes standardized, and the innovating firm may find it profitable to license other domestic and foreign firms to also manufacture the product. Thus, the imitating country starts producing the product for domestic consumption. In stage 4, the imitating country facing lower labor and other costs now that the product has also become standardized and no longer requires development, and engineering skills begins to undersell the innovating country in the third markets and production of the product in the innovating country declines. Finally, in stage 5, the imitating country starts underselling the innovating country in the latter's market, as well as the production of the product in the innovating country declines rapidly or collapses. Stages 4 and 5 are often referred to as product decline stage. Technological diffusion, standardization, and lower cost approaches bring to end of life of cycle for the product. It's now time for the innovating country to concentrate attention on the new technological innovations and to introduce new products. In the conclusion, we can say in recent years, the diffusion lack of new technologies has shortened considerably so that we have witnessed a time compression of the product life cycle. That is, the time from the introduction of new product in the innovating country to time when the imitating country displaces the innovating country in third markets and in the innovating country itself has become shorter and shorter. This may spell trouble for a country like United States, which relies on new technologies and new products to remain internationally competitive. The benefits that the United States can reap from the new technologies and new products that it introduces are even more quickly copied by other countries, especially Japan. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Li Shuai. Please stop your screen sharing. Okay, good. I think those who are not who didn't deliver your presentation this time, maybe you can do it in our next class. Okay, and I think today time is up. Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Okay. See you next time. Okay.
Thank you,
And have a good weekend. Okay.